check. So just maybe say something and then I can see if your microphone's active.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Tiana? Is your microphone working?
Hello.
There we go. All right. Welcome to today's course, everyone. So my name is Heather, and I will be taking your training for today. So the unit that we will cover is research using the internet. The course code is BSBTEC203. Are we able to see that presentation clearly?
Yeah.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
So essentially, before we move on to covering the presentation, I'll just give a little breakdown of what we're going to do in these two sessions. So what will happen is we'll have 2 half-an-hour sessions covering this unit. Okay, and then once we've finished that, we'll have another session which would involve like a feedback session as well as your practical and knowledge assessments. So my name is Heather. I have a background in administration, training, and operating. So I've been in administration for about 6 to 7 years. And then recently I've discovered my passion for training. So can we just do a quick little introduction with you guys? Just a little bit of a background.
Sorry, Heather, I just have a question. Do I have to keep my camera on? I'm a bit of a shy introvert.
That's okay, Lorraine. So what we'll do is I can go through this presentation, and as we go through, you can possibly just turn your camera off if you would like to, if that would make you feel more comfortable.
Yes.
And then what we can do when I do the IDs, because I do have to verify them before we can proceed.
Okay.
So I can, once we go into the breakout rooms, is it okay if I can just get you to turn your camera on for then?
Yeah, that should be all right.
Tiana, are you all good to go?
Yeah. Sorry, what was the question again?
Can you please just introduce yourself and give us a little bit of a background?
Yep. So I live in the rural part of WA, about 100 kilometers from Perth. At the moment, I'm currently living with my parents as well as my partner, and my 3 children, all under the age of 5. So it's a bit crazy here. My parents also have some renovations going on at the house as well. So it's a little bit crazy over here. But yeah, no, just my boss kind of wanted me to do this course, which is not convenient for me as I obviously, like, I'm busy with my kids, and it's a bit hard to kind of have a bit of focus into this. So yeah, but I will try my hardest. But yeah, that's it from me.
Yeah, if there's any time, right, where you have to leave to go and help with your kids, or if there's too much noise in terms of the renovations, just let me know, and then we'll try and figure out how to catch you up if you do ever miss any information. Is that okay?
Yep, no worries. Thank you.
And then lastly, Taylor.
I'm Taylor. I live in Melbourne. I have never done online training before, which I think is why my company has opted for me to do it. But I mainly work from home, but I do try get into my office at least 2 times a fortnight, but I have my own full home office set up. But I have a lot of computer skills, but I think my company just wanted me to do some online learning.
Well, that's good. Well, thank you all very much. Nice to meet you. And again, our topic will be research using the internet. So just a little breakdown, as I said earlier, in our 2 sessions, there'll be half an hour, so we'll have a break in between. And then we will come back together, do our assessments, and complete the last one. Any questions before we move on?
I just have one question. Sorry, yeah. I've got a few animals, at my place at the moment. So if you hear, I don't know, my dog barking in the background, or if I've got 2 goats as well, if they're running in and out, don't mind them. Or if I have to tend to them, do you mind if I go tend to my dogs, or if you hear them barking while we're doing this online course. I just wanted to let you know. Is that all right?
Yep, that's okay, Lorraine. So
Okay.
again, with anyone today, if you do have to remove yourself, just let me know.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to catch you up and possibly put you in different breakout rooms to then go through information that you have missed towards the end of the presentation, if that's okay.
Okay.
Beautiful. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to open up. So I did send everybody quite a few documents. So the one that I'm going to be opening up will be the learner guide. So if you want to, you can open yours up, or you can just follow along with what I'm about to open. Let me know as well if you can't actually see my screen. So are we able to see that?
Yep.
Yep.
So throughout the course, right, if there's any chance of us losing internet connection at all, I have left my email address here and then my mobile number at the bottom. So with those who do have internet issues, please feel free to contact me and I will try and help you get back into the chat again. So we have quite a few links on this page in regards to our course throughout the whole session. So this is the access that you have to your learner guide. I have already sent out the learner evaluation forms as well as the attendance forms to your private emails. And throughout the presentation, I will come through and speak about these different links for us to then input them into our computers and open it up on our own computers. All right, how's everybody? All good?
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm going to jump back in now and share the presentation. What I might do now is I'm going to put everyone into a breakout room. I just need to confirm the IDs before we move on with our course. Is that all right with everyone?
Yep.
Yep.
So what I'm going to do
I
is I'm
just
just
gotta
going to
go get mine. I was gonna go get my IDs in the other room. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yep. Okay.
Thank you, Lorraine. And do we all have our IDs on us?
Yeah.
Tiana,
Yes.
Taylor?
Yes. Just I've got a question.
Yes.
Would it be a problem that it is a little bit expired?
Do you have any other ID identification on you?
I do, but it had just kind of expired. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice my camera. It had kind of expired only just last month. Is that okay?
What we can do is while we're in the breakout room, we can talk about possibly if you don't have any ID on you, maybe rescheduling for another date to complete it, as you do have to have your identification to complete and obviously access a statement of attainment once the course has finished.
Okay.
But I will try and see if there's any other thing or any alternative in regards to that. Is that okay, Tiana?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually have a look on my phone because would it be okay? We can't even see it. I got a photo on my phone of my passport, so would that be okay?
Yep. So what we'll do is I will assign everybody to the breakout rooms now. And then you and I can speak about it a little bit more in depth so we can try and help you to then be able to sit through this course and get your statement of attainment by the end of it.
Okay, thank you.
No worries. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to join into separate breakout rooms. All right, so I'm just opening them now. You'll be in a breakout room for a short minute or two. And then once that's done, I will come back and we'll start the presentation. Awesome. Yep, no, that's okay. You're more than welcome to
Okay.
do that.
Thank you.
Okay, so we should just be getting Tiana back now. We'll just wait for Tiana to join and then we will carry on with our presentation. Maybe I need to just see if I can request her to join us. Cool. All right, let's start. Has everyone been able to see, are you able to see my screen correctly?
Yep.
So these are our learning objectives for our first session. So during the presentation, you'll notice that there's different learning objectives and they all are governed underneath the research using the internet.
I can't see it. Can't see the presentation.
Okay, no, that's okay. Let me try again. Can you see it now?
No.
Bear with me. Is that better than the other one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So our learning objectives for this phase of it and internet in the workplace is to understand key legislation and regulations that apply to your role, access and interpret policies and procedures relating to internet usage in the workplace. So with internet in the workplace, so in the workplace, the internet boosts productivity, communication, and efficiency through communication, so email, real-time messaging, and video calls. Got research, so assessing industry news, database, and market analysis. Cloud storage, so to secure file sharing and real-time collaboration. Project management is tools like Trello and Asana to track tasks. Training is online learning platforms. So you've got LinkedIn is a popular one that is used quite frequently. So for skill development. Have social media, so networking. Again, LinkedIn is on there as well. So marketing, running ads, analyzing web traffic and digital promotion. Customer support are your chatbots, your live chats for client assistance. Are you okay there, Lorraine? Sorry, I think you're on mute. Bear with me. You maybe want to unmute yourself. So
Sorry, I had to take my dogs in the other room. They were barking. Sorry about that.
that's okay. Thank you for that, Lorraine. So I think we were up to customer support and then data security. So cybersecurity tools, securing browsing with VPNs, e-commerce, and then automation is using tools like streamline workflows. Tiana, you all right?
Yep. All good.
So then the next one we're going to talk about is the legislation and regulations. So you've got your Copyright Acts, Privacy Acts, Work Health and Safety Acts, Anti-Discrimination Acts, and Online Safety Acts. So I'm just going to ask a little question. Do any of us in the workplaces that we're in now actually are governed by any policies and procedures? Do you have any examples or do you know what they could possibly mean?
I'm pretty sure we the company that I work for would have the Work Health and Safety Act.
They've got a little bit of knowledge in terms of legislations and regulations.
Sorry, can you say that again?
So do we have a bit of knowledge in regards to what legislation and regulations are?
Yes.
So then we're going to go a little bit more in depth about policies and procedures. So the internet usage outlines the following. So acceptable use of the internet, who has access to the internet, websites and content that employees are not allowed to access. We've got security measures, how to handle sensitive information, monitoring and logging of internet usage by employees. So and then you've got work health and safety, outlines the hazards, risk and control, measures for working at computers. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open, can you still see my computer?
Yep.
So I'm just going to open up our learner guide. So that is again attached in the email that I have sent. So if it's clearer on your computer, you're more than welcome to open it. What I might actually get you guys to do is to open the learner guide so that you can copy the link and bring up the same screen that I will be sharing. So what you want to look for is the workstation setup, working from home. So you just want to hover your mouse over it, left click, and then control copy. Are you okay, Lorraine?
No, sorry. I'm all new to this, so I'm a bit slow in doing this. So where do I go again? Do I go into the learner guide?
Yes, please.
Okay, so click on that.
Yeah, and it should open up to a section like this. So then
Okay,
you want to scroll
got
down
it.
a little bit.
Yep.
And just under the one with the red writing, you'll see workstation setup, working from home.
So I click on workstation setup.
Yep, so you want to what we want to do is we want to copy that link that's
Okay, hang
highlighted
on.
in blue.
Okay, just give me 1 sec. And I'll copy that.
And then you want to open up your browser. So you could either go Google Chrome or Microsoft Edge. And for this task, I'm just going to use Microsoft Edge.
Okay, give me 1 sec. Sorry.
Okay. Maybe I'll
Oh, yeah,
open
I think I got it. Working from home workstation.
Perfect. Has
Okay,
everybody
cool.
else been
Thank
able
you.
to open that successfully?
Yep.
Yes.
So then what you're going to do is you're going to click on the PDF. And then we're just going to look at this. So in that presentation we just went through, it detailed some information regarding outline the hazard, risk and control measures for working at computers. So on the left side, you've got poor posture. On the right side, you've got correct posture. Out of those that you can see, are you still following on my screen? Yeah. So what you can see, what I want you to do is just unmute yourselves and possibly tell me things that you could face in your work environment in terms of how do I set my workstation up. All right, so say, for instance, you're at home, you don't have a chair that you can sit on, or you might not have the correct computer and might not be at the right height. So is there anything that possibly you can tell me from this picture here that is either right or wrong?
Yeah. Where on the left one, the poor posture side.
Yep.
That guy could possibly have or get neck problems by looking down rather
Beautiful.
than straight ahead.
Cool. So that's essentially this PDF that we've opened is how to set up the workstation correctly when you're working from home. So what I want you guys to do, preferably for homework after our first session has finished, I want you to then go through this checklist. So how do I set up my workstation at home? So you'll then go through and tick things that you might not have, right? Or things that you can improve on. And then all you have to do is just submit it or email it back to me once you've completed that checklist.
Yep.
Okay, and I will, at the end of this, make sure that it's all updated on the information that I've given you. It should be outlined in the emails received. So this section here just talks about what you can do to improve your body posture, right, as well as how you can help if you're standing for too long, or if you need to do back stretches. Okay, so there's just a little PDF on how to do that. So we'll go back onto the presentation now. So research applications and tools. Now at the end part of this, I will then just give you guys a task. You'll go into the internet and use some of the tools that we've learnt about in these 2 slides, 2 sessions, I'd say. Then you would use that information to go and find different topics using the web. So this one covers access and use internet browsers for research, access and use search engines for research, and identifying how to access help for online applications and tools. So the online applications and tools, right? Search engines, online database, digital libraries, Google Scholar, government websites, and online surveys and polls. So what that means is those are things that you can use to find separate bits of information. So then you've got your internet browsers. So are we familiar with some of these on the left-hand side? So the popular browsers.
Yep.
And we've all used at least one of them.
Yep.
Perfect. So an internet browser, also known as a web browser, is a software application that allows users to access and view information on the internet. So you've got Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, Microsoft Edge, Apple Safari, and Opera. To be very honest, my key points for this would just be Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge, but those are ones that I'm familiar with. So it might be a little bit different for you guys as well. So the key functionalities of those browsers include address bars, tabs and windows, bookmarks, history, search, download, security and privacy settings, and Zoom page settings. We will cover a little bit of this once we go through our activity. So then you've got your search engines. So it's a web-based tool that helps users find information on the internet. So popular search engines include Google, Bing, Yahoo, Ask.com. Has anyone actually used those? Or do you use those on a daily basis at work?
Only Google.
Google? And what do you use, so just to find relevant information in regards to your work role?
Depending if I'm doing it on my work computer, I'll use Microsoft Edge. Otherwise, if I'm at home, not on my work computer, I'll use Safari, Apple Safari.
So our key functionalities, again, search bar, query suggestions, search results page. There's summaries on there as well. Related searches, images and video search. So then there is quite a bit of places that have, or internet browsers that have help functions. So internet browsers and search engines will have a help function to assist users. So again, if you're not really used to using the computer as such, there are little things to help you as you go. So what I'm going to do is I want to stop sharing my screen for a second. I'm then going to open up a separate document, right, or a task per se. So it'll be the first task that you're completing in session 1.
Mm-hmm.
We will then do a separate task in session 2, which is similar to what we're going to be doing. So just give me a second. I'm just going to bring it up. So it is part of a practical assessment, but what we'll do is we'll search different types for it. I'll bring it up on my computer. And then what I will get you guys to do is to write answers in your own browser. So either you can use, not browser, sorry, in your own format of documenting. So you can use Word, you can use Notes if you don't have Word, just to prove that you've been able to research these tasks on your own. So I'm going to now share my screen again. Are we able to see this Word document?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're just going to change a few things, and we're going to talk about what we want to search, for instance. So this is called an synchronous task. So where we're going to work together, we will find out what we want to search, we'll each go out and do our own research on it, and then come back together and collaborate. So what is it that you would like to know, just in general? Should we possibly research? Why don't we go research office supplies? That is your task 1. The second one could be research well-being. All right, and then the last one, you say research safety poster. So we're then going to open up Word. Again, if you don't have Word, you're more than welcome to use Notes. So get yourself a blank piece of paper or blank form. You're then going to post these 3 topics. What I want you to list on those topics would be the following. So you'd want to put, you want to put where or what internet browser did you use? What information did you find? What is the that's your link where you've got your information. And the last point I want to know is, was it easy to access information? Using the internet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself for a second. I will then allow you guys to go away for about 5 minutes, just to do a little bit of research about these 3 things, about these 3 tasks. Once you're finished, we'll do a little collaboration, and then we'll go for our first break. How does that sound? Are we all good with that one?
Yep.
Perfect. So I'm going to leave my screen up. I will mute myself. If anything, just if you do need me, there is I don't know if you can see it. So sorry, bear with me. Stop sharing. So on the top of your screen, you'll have chat, where you can access private chats or group chats with myself or anyone else in the group. Okay. You've also got people. All right. So who's attending this chat? If you have a question that you need answering, just tap this raise button here and you'll see a little hand. Okay. To lower it, you'll just push lower, which means that I've answered your question. Okay. You also do have a notes section here, so you can write meeting notes if you're wanting to. But other than that, I'm now going to put myself on a mute and turn my camera off to allow you guys time. You're more than welcome to turn your camera off to research as well. I will do the same thing, and I'll see what I've come up with and what information I can find as well.
Could you please put back up on the screen what we're searching up again?
Yes, I can.
Thank
It
you.
was the same thing I was going to.
Let me just go back to sharing my screen. So whilst I'm doing this, you can still see me.
Yep.
Okay, then what we'll do is we'll just remain on the computer together. And I will just leave this here. So when you're ready, I'll start the timer and we'll go away for about 2 to 3 minutes. Are you okay, Lorraine? So I'll just unmute you so that I can hear. Bear with me. Would you like to just unmute yourself? So there's a button on your screen. So just your top right.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So sorry, was there anything that I can help you with?
Yeah, so I've just gotten a new laptop, right? So I've got this all set up and everything, but I don't have you know, the Word document, Microsoft Word. I haven't paid for that, so I can type my thing in. Can I just write it on my pad of paper? Can I just write it on the paper?
What I might get you to
Or-
do is, would you like to share a screen with me and I can try and help you find possibly a notes section in your computer?
Okay, I think I tried doing my notes, but okay. How do I share my screen? Oh, yeah, just there.
So what I'll do is I will.
Because I've got my internet working, so I can do the research and stuff, but I just can't bring up like Word documents because I haven't paid for my prescription. You know, like you have to pay for it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So bear with
And
me,
I was
Lorraine. What I'm
trying
going to do is I'll put this information into our group chat that we have on Microsoft.
Yep,
Okay, just so that I can exit out of this and try and help you with your computer.
yep.
Just going to stop sharing for now. All right, so everyone else, if you're still able to hear me, I'm going to put these questions in our chat. Let me know if you can't see them. So Lorraine, I'm going to give you access to be able to show me your computer. Is that okay with you?
Yep, that's fine.
You know what we'll do is we'll go into a breakout room together and we'll figure it out in there.
Okay. So I
Right,
stay
so,
on?
yeah, so Tiana and
Okay.
Taylor, I'm just going to go into a breakout room with Lorraine and we'll try and figure out where she can put her notes in and then we'll come back. Is that all right?
Yep.
Thank you. Are you okay, Tiana?
Sorry, what was that?
I'm just wondering if you're okay and all good for the task.
Yes. Yeah. All good.
All right, Lorraine, I'm coming to join you now.
Okay.
Okay, so Tiana and Taylor, how are we going on that?
Good.
Did we manage to find any information?
Yeah, do you want anything specific or is it kind of just whatever we find?
Yeah, so it's just essentially it's just what I've put in the chat. So it's not too in depth. It's just so that I have knowledge that you are able to access that information.
Yeah. So like with the office supplies, is it anything specific to office supplies or like kind of anything that we search up?
So bear with me. Sorry, what did you put in there?
I just searched up where am I? Office supplies.
Yep.
And then one of the first ones that came up was make custom office stationery.
Make custom. Oh, cool.
From
So
Vistaprint.
I've just put in research office supplies and all the first thing that come up that's got office products new research.
Yeah.
All right, so then what we'll do is answer one question each.
Okay.
So we'll say, for instance, Taylor's answered, what information did you find? Okay. So Tiana, can you please tell me, was it easy to access information using the internet?
Sorry, can you just say that one more time?
It's okay. So I've just asked if you were able to answer the question. Was it easy to access information using the internet?
Yes, yep.
And can everybody put their answers in this group chat, please?
Mm-hmm.
So the URL that you've used, what information you found, and what internet browser you use as well. You don't have to do that whilst we're on chat. You're more than welcome to do it once we're off, or if we're on our break or anything like that, or even when we come back. So what we're going to do is we're going to go for a break, and then we will come back, complete the session 2, and then jump straight into our assessment and knowledge. Is that okay with everybody?
Yeah.
Thank you, Taylor. So, oh, beautiful. So you've entered the hyperlinks. Thank you. Perfect. So, Tiana and Lorraine, how are you going with that one?
I did the well-being one.
Yep.
And I'm just going to, I hope I'm doing this right. I'm just going to put on the chat. This was the one that I did was, can you see that? It's like a ClassPass corporate wellness program. Is that
So
all
I'm
right?
just going to open that up now.
Oh.
Oh, awesome. So is that like to get into exercising and things like that for mental health?
Yeah, yeah. And it looks like it's for corporate offices or something like that.
So how we want it set out is, so Taylor sent her research back. So task 1, she used personalized stationery. Task 2, mental health, sorry. And then the last poster, she has an image. What I also want you to include in there. Oh no, Taylor did amazing. I've got the link for that as well. So Tiana, are you able to do that for me as well? Just to send a link. So Lorraine, that's okay. You've sent me a link. So, now I know you know how to access it and how to search using the internet.
Okay.
And then once Tiana sends it, we'll go for a break. Because I just want to say thank you guys again for the first session. We will go for a quick little break. And then Tiana, you have time to send us your link, either once we come back from our break or just before the course ends, okay? So we're going to go for, say, a 15-minute break. We will then come back and complete the last session.
Mm-hmm.
And then once that's done, because we're just learning how to do the knowledge and assessment criteria, then once that's done, we'll come on here and do a knowledge and assessment quiz and a practical possibly as well. And then we will end our course with evaluation for feedback for all of us, so myself, and then feedback that I will give you guys as well. Okay, so let's go for a break, and then we'll reconvene in about 15 minutes.
Yep.
Thank you for the presentation. We might then just talk a little bit in regards to what we're going to cover. Also in this one, I will then give you a separate activity. So it's just essentially like a scavenger hunt. All right, and then so what you'll do is you'll take the information that I've given you or that I have sent out to you. You will then go into your own breakout rooms. I'll give you about 10 minutes or so to complete those quizzes. And then when you're ready, you'll be able to email them back to me and I can then mark them off. So let's start. I'm going to share my screen again. Is everybody okay? Everybody have a good break?
Yep.
So what I would also like to discuss too is, what did we learn in session 1 that possibly you didn't know anything about?
One thing I actually didn't know was that Microsoft Edge used to be the Explorer.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's good, Taylor. Thank you. And what about you, Tiana and Lorraine?
Sorry, what was the question again?
So I just asked, what was it that you learnt from our first session?
Well, when I was going in that other chat with you, I didn't know how to bring up my Word document and stuff. So you showed me how to bring up the notes. And then I was able to go to my internet and find that corporate wellbeing session. And then, yeah, and then I just added on to that chat page that we just did.
Thank you for that, Lorraine.
Because I'm not
And what
I'm not that really good with computers and all that kind of stuff.
do you think in that first session you were able to increase your skills possibly just a little bit?
Yeah. Yep. And I appreciated you taking me through it as well. So yeah, thank you.
No worries, Lorraine. And what about you, Tiana? Are you okay?
Sorry, well, so can you repeat that again? Sorry.
I was just asking, what is it that you learned from session 1?
What I learned from session 1 was the correct ways to setting up like workstations and stuff like that.
So I'm going to need everybody's attention on this one, okay? So it's the last session that we'll go through. The next one is your assessment phase. So your quiz and your knowledge and your practical session. And obviously that then details if you will then receive your statement statement once this course has completed. So Tiana, I will then just need you to watch this presentation, okay, just so that we've got a little bit more of an understanding once it comes to the questions. As we covered previously, we did the topics in regards to internet in the workplace and as well as research, application and tools.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're going to then move on to basic research methods. So we can see this clearly?
Yeah.
Okay, so basic research methods. So learning objectives are create and follow a research plan, evaluate sources used during research for reliability, use search terms and search operators. Okay, so what is a research plan? So a good research plan should include what the search topic is, who is involved in the task, the objectives of the search, of the research, the online resources you'll need to undertake the research, where you plan to gather information from, and search terms you plan to use to gather information. So we did a basic research plan where we researched a certain topic, what the link was to get to that topic, okay, and what information we gathered from it. So that is what a research plan entails.
Mm-hmm.
We then go into guidelines for research. Are we still okay and following along?
Yeah.
So then you've got your guidelines for research. So you've got to utilize search engines effectively, access different types of sources, verify information, organize your findings, respect copyright and intellectual property, be cautious with sensitive data and limit distractions. So that is a big one in terms of working in the environments that you work in. Now it's got defined objectives. So research objectives should be SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So defining clear research objectives helps you to maintain focus, enhances the quality of the work, and ensures that the research is meaningful and relevant. Now, where we find these sources are on this table in the presentation. So steps to assess whether a source is reliable and reputable are outlined below. So you've got source type and origin, so where you found it. Now, the credibility of the author that created that specific thing you've researched. So review with your peers and editorial processes, so if they're going to edit it. Currency and timeline, so making sure you've done it efficiently. Right, reference and citations, bias and objectivity, domain and URL. So we did cover URL in the first session. Consistency with other sources and site design and presentation. Now, then we go into search terms. So search terms are the specific words or phrases that you enter into a search engine. So when we did the first activity, All right, do we remember what we searched in our, whether it was Google Chrome or you used Firefox
Microsoft Edge.
or Microsoft Edge? Thank you, Taylor. So what is it that we searched up for our activity?
Um,
I did
the
that
first one
well-being one.
was office supplies.
Office supplies. And did we find it easy to, narrowing down those, not narrowing down, but using those keywords to find specific things?
Yeah.
Yes.
So in here it says use specific keywords that describe the topic or subject you are researching. Avoid using vague or general terms that might return unrelated results. So that's why when you do research things, you do have to narrow them down so that you get that specific result. So incorporate synonyms or related terms to increase the chances of finding relevant information. So not everyone uses the same words to describe the same thing. Use the filters provided by the search engine to narrow down your result based on factors such as date, location, or content type. Don't be afraid to experiment with different combinations of search terms. If your initial search term doesn't yield satisfactory results, modify and refine your search terms until you find what you're looking for. So on that topic, what I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Pretty much with this task, what I want you to do is work as a team. What I want it to be and related to is work health and safety. Could be classed as maybe a synchronous activity. All right. So I want you to give me 3 different topics. With the information, I want what we saw in our presentation. So I want you to state, I want you to explain the search terms. So you've got to use specific keywords that describe the topic. Incorporate synonyms or related terms to increase the chances. So pretty much in your activity, I'll put you in your rooms. You'll then search a topic together, find as much information, where you found it, how you found it, what engine you used, what term you used to find the specific thing, and then you'll come back and present it to me as a team.
Do you mind explaining a bit more in detail of what exactly under workplace health and safety you want us to search?
So just anything in general. So it can be in terms of the policies and procedures. You could possibly talk about the report emergencies, hazards and controls. So there's a lot that govern the work health and safety sector. So it's more or less trying to work as a team to figure out, of course, what you can find for that. It doesn't have to be work health and safety. It can be anything else you would like to choose.
Okay. And if we do workplace health and safety, does it have to be a specific state or it can be any state?
Any state.
Cool.
Okay, so this is just primarily using other peers to then critique and find out what information we can find as a group.
Yeah.
So I'm going to now place you guys into a room. I'll give you about 5 minutes to complete that. Once that's done, I will then put you all back into our main meeting. And then you'll be able to explain to me what you searched and just different information in regards to that topic.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just going to move you into the rooms now, and then we will go from there.
Oh.
All right, sorry about that. I was just moving everybody back out from the breakout room. And Lorraine's just put into the chat that her computer's about to go flat. So what we'll do is we will just go with what we have at the moment. And then I will be able to then try and catch Lorraine up on the rest of the information. Right, so can we see my screen?
Yes.
And Taylor, are you still there as well?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Oh, beautiful. That's okay. Oh, Lorraine's still there as well. So what I'm going to do is just open up our presentation and we'll just continue with the rest. So what I can see is that there's search operators. So double quotation marks or minus, site, file type, wildcard, related, define, and URL. So we've obviously worked on URL. We've then looked at file type and possibly site as well whilst we've gotten this information. So then we move on to document present research findings. So take detailed or organized notes when researching. Cite sources according to legislative requirements and organizational policies and procedures. Provide research in a verbal and written report. So Tiana, can you please read out this section for me?
Sorry, can you say that one more time? I didn't quite catch that.
No, that's okay. Can you just please read out the session for me?
Yep. Taking detailed notes during your research will help you to later organize your findings and can also serve as a record of your research process. You should take notes whenever you access a source and use the information contained in it.
Yep, and how do we take note of that?
When you access the course, the link or URL of the source and what information you gathered from the source.
Thank you so much for that, Tiana. So we all know how to take notes, right? Essentially, we did do this in the session that I covered in session 1. So we then got information, opened whether it was Word or Notes, and then put our details into there. So cite sources, essential elements are commonly included in the citation of a web page are the name of the author, the title of the specific work being cited, the date when the work was published or made available, and the website URL, the date you accessed the online source as well. Now we're coming up close to the last section of our presentation. Once we finish this, what I will do is in our learner guide, I have given you links to be able to go to our scavenger hunt. I will then give you 10 minutes to complete that. Once we finish that, that'll be the end of our presentation session. And then our last session again will cover the practical and the knowledge assessment. Once we've finished that, we'll then go through have a little bit of feedback for both myself as a trainer and you guys as a learner. We then have to fill out a learner form, essentially so that I am able to better myself as a trainer and better present the way that I do this course. Okay, so last one is written and verbal reports. Depending on the research task and the process in your workplace, you may be required to provide a written or verbal report of research. So written reports include, so the main points are organizing and creating a clear structure for your writing, use plain English, eliminate repetitive phrases or words, use active voice, keep sentences and paragraphs short, read it aloud and edit and revise your writing. Now, verbal reports, you may be required to provide a one-on-one verbal report to your manager or present the findings to a group of stakeholders. So you've got to think about what you want to say before you begin. Include only relevant information and details. Put things into a local sequence and be aware of non-verbal language. Okay, so that is essentially our course concluded. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to get you guys to open up the learner guide that I had sent out earlier. And in that learner guide, I want you to then find the scavenger link. So I have created a scavenger link. So it's just a little quiz to get us pretty much started for the next phase of our assessment. So it should be, oh, actually, it might have been in the set that I emailed to you guys. Yeah, so it was in the first section that I emailed. Should be a
Sorry,
link there for it.
in that learner's guide thing, like where it says
No, so
online
not in the
platform
learner guide,
assessment,
the separate form.
separate form.
And in there was also, let me just open it up.
What's the name of it?
I can't see it.
Bear with
Sorry.
me. No, that's okay. So it should be called Scavenger Hunt Digital Handout. So what I'll do is I'll see if I can upload it into here. There we go. So I've just dropped it into our chat. I'll get you to then access that and follow the instructions on it. So what I might do quickly is I'm going to share my screen. We'll just have a little quick talk in regards to it. We'll start it, and then once we've concluded that, we'll go for our last break before we actually do the assessment. So awesome. So I can see that Taylor's on there. Very quick and efficient. Thank you, Taylor. So digital scavenger hunt. Your mission is to complete this scavenger hunt to practice and showcase your internet research skills. Use search engines and advanced search techniques to find the answers to the following 10 questions. So these are your questions here. Your instructions. For each question, you need to record your answer. Note the search terms. Provide the website. Use at least three different search engines. Use advanced search techniques and evaluate the credibility. Actually, what we might do is we might just actually save that for the last phase of it, and we might just go around and speak about what it is that we've learnt, okay, and what we've covered in the last two sessions. Is that okay with everybody?
Yep.
So I'm going to then mute myself just so I can allow for everybody else to say what they've learned. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And Lorraine, if you don't feel comfortable with your camera on, you're more than welcome to turn it off when you speak.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so when you're ready, anyone.
We learnt how to research for specific things. The different browsers you can use.
And the search engines. Didn't know that were that many.
Pardon?
I didn't know there was that many different kind of search engines. Of just because I only really use the same ones like all the time.
I mean, what about you, Lorraine? What is it that you've learnt? I do know that we discussed this earlier, but it's just so that we're still kind of trying to remember what was in this presentation, as it is key for us for our assessment section.
But
I have also, with the emails I sent out this morning, added the presentation in there. So if you ever wanting to reread through it, it is in there. So Lorraine, before we end this session, can you just give me a little bit of information on what you've learnt?
I've learned how to, like for myself, but like doing this online training about like how to talk in that chat, because I didn't know that even existed. I learned how to do that search engine to copy and paste and sit in the chat. So that's pretty big for me, like just learning how to do that. So I think if I go ahead in the future and do some more online training like this, I'll be a bit more confident.
Awesome. Well, thank you all very much for that. What we will do now is then complete this course, and then we will meet back up to do our assessment side of things and review our feedback. Okay?
Okay.
All right, well, thank you so much, and I'll just get you to leave the chat for now, or possibly just mute and turn your cameras off until we
Thank you.
come back. Thank you.
Thank you.